So we're here with Jake and Leo, the founders of First Class Festival. How are you guys doing?
Doing well, bro.
Good.
Thank you for having us.
You guys have your upcoming festival, Tuesday, October 10th on Axis Club. First thing I wanted to ask you guys is, how did you guys pick the lineup? The first thing I saw it, I was like, this is a really interesting group of people. What made you want to go with those guys?
So we actually work with a guy named Nick, Life and Friends, who's a promoter in the U.S. So we kind of we wanted to go with an underground festival or an underground lineup. We were going to do D.C., but we did him in Montreal, so we're going to do him the next one. But Dom Corleo, he's represented by Nick,
Dope.
Life and Friends. So that's how we picked him for the headliner. And then once we have a headliner, we kind of just build it off of that.
Yeah. And honestly, Amari was honestly just to get that underground vibe with Dom. And then Bandmanrill was just someone we've been rocking with for a minute that we thought would bring kind of a different crowd, but still be, obviously a good live performer and still kind of make sense with the lineup. And then honestly, 4 or 5 he's doing a couple of the opening dates for Dominant's US tour, so it just kind of made sense to have him on the Canada run as well. And Devstacks, shout out New 11 Records, they clutched that up, put him on the bill. And then Kato, Gunner, Wavy, Moss, those are just the guys in Toronto.
Yeah, and a lot of these guys haven't been to Canada, so that's kind of how we picked too. Yeah, we like bringing guys that haven't been here. We want to bring the whole underground scene is going crazy in the U.S., as everyone knows, so we want to bring it into Canada. That's kind of our whole thing.
No, I was going to say, right when I first heard about your guys' First Class Festival, the first Class Festival, I saw all these guys that have never been to Toronto, and I was like, oh, this is so sick. It's a place where you can see all these guys, especially the underground scene that wouldn't normally come here solo or opening.
Yeah.
I love that idea, honestly. And when I saw the second, or your guys' latest festival, the first thing that stood out to me is I fucking love the poster design. So for you guys,
which one was that for?
The newest one.
Oh, the one coming up?
Yeah,
okay.
yeah. I love the first one too. We'll talk about that one as well. But first, I wanted to say, for you guys, talk about the importance of the festival poster / set list. Because for me, I feel like that's everything with Veld, Rolling Loud. That really. It sticks in your mind when you think of the festival, that physical track list that you see on social media. That shit's so important. So why is it important for you guys?
Yeah, I mean, honestly, for us, one thing would just be making sure we're always sticking to the First Class brand.
Facts.
Which is definitely something we're trying to build out here. Just make sure all aspects of what we're posting, what we're about is tied into that concept. So obviously we got the globe, we got the plane on there, and try to keep it like earth tone colors and stuff like that. But really, shout out Travis for this flyer. Just kind of let him do his thing. But honestly, another thing too that we just kind of learned over the years is just making sure you have a clean graphic that the artists are gonna want to share to them, their people as well. Because you don't want to have something where it's they don't even want to post it to their social. It's gonna mess with their feed or something like that. And yeah, I'd say we really usually just let the graphic designer kind of do their thing because they're the ones with the vision. So
yeah, we kind of give them a little outline, and Leo usually draws them a little thing on
really
paper.
Cool. Yeah,
and they go crazy with it. We kind of just give them a lot of the creative freedom.
That's amazing because I love. I feel like that's the best way to work with artists, where you give them a little outline and just let them do it.
The most mid drawing you've ever done in your life,
and
then they bring it to life.
If we had a side-by-side comparison,
yeah, bro, it's funny.
It's funny. They transform it. Yeah. Leo always puts out the idea.
It's a straight doodle. Yeah, it looks like a 6-year-old did that.
Because I remember when I saw the first Class with Gucci, DC, and Uno. That's the first thing that stuck out to me was how great the graphic was, and that just really brought me into it. Yeah. So yeah, no, big ups for you guys on doing that.
Also, shout out Juan Hunted, bro.
Yeah,
the GOAT.
Juan, he created the first.
He's done all our flyers up until the last one.
Yeah, but he's gonna get some more graphics for this festival for sure.
100%. He did the alternative one actually too. That's gonna come out.
Yeah, shout out Juan.
And I was gonna say, because you guys were talking about the branding around First Class Festival and flying. I like how you guys name your tickets boarding passes and stuff. I like how everything is just centered around that theme. I think it's really cool.
Thank you, bro.
Now going back to before, I want to ask, how'd you guys meet?
We met at a club party.
Hell yeah.
Something.
It was when Cardi's show was supposed to be in Toronto, got canceled.
Really? Yeah.
So then someone was like, yo, everyone pull up to this venue.
Son of C, Dylan Reed.
Yeah. And then I remember my roommate Parker actually, he had tapped in with you. I don't know about what, but something. He introduced us at the club. We just met briefly, but then you can kind of tell you were running the studio.
Yeah, so I was renting a studio on Queen Street that we were just at every day, and then I met him there, and he was doing like marketing, obviously.
Dope.
So I told him to come through to the studio, and then I saw he was on go, and then just like every day he came over. We were just talking about plays. We had a lot of moves that was going on at that point for like shows that we wanted to do and stuff. And Leo just we came together and we clicked, we had chemistry, and then we just like made everything happen.
So how did you guys meeting and connecting go to you wanting to create First Class Festival?
Honestly, I feel like it just kind of like happened, to be
Just
honest.
really
It wasn't
natural?
like when we first linked up, I mean, he had did Young Tory's Canadian tour, which
That's
was
dope.
like
No
a lot of
college
college
tour, yeah.
cities like
Yeah.
in
Yeah, I remember
Ontario.
that.
And we went on that, locked in, and then
Oh
really,
yeah, this was like, my bad for cutting
No,
off. This is
no,
like
okay.
3 days into like me meeting him, 4 days. This guy comes on our little RV. On, like, this guy had exams on like the next day.
Yeah.
In Guelph, he went to like the Starbucks or some shit and did his
The grind the
exam.
exams.
Yeah.
Alright,
I was like, okay,
Yeah.
this guy's on go. Like
Yeah.
ever since then, we were just like planning things, and like I think it was within the first like 3 weeks that we met each other that we like came up with the idea of First
That's
Class
amazing.
and everything.
Yeah.
So.
I feel like whenever you meet someone and like you guys really get along, that shit happens naturally so quickly. You don't even realize what's happening until it starts going.
Sure. Yeah, and even when we did the first show, like it just kind of happened, but then once it actually did happen, I think we both like just rocked with the whole process. And obviously like the day of, I mean, it's stressful as hell, but like it was also just I mean that's what, you know, we're both trying to lock in and just keep building out the live side of things. I didn't know like that's what we were really gonna like lock in on, that was gonna be
Really?
Yeah, but
Would you think you were gonna be doing more
On some
just
marketing.
like management, digital marketing, like I
Yeah.
didn't even really know what it was. Yeah, just know we always listened to the music, and there was like it's gonna happen some
Hell
way.
yeah.
But yeah,
speaking on like management, I noticed you guys are starting like your First Class music group.
Yeah.
where you guys are managing Kato's Eye and Eli Jugs.
yeah,
Are those your only two artists right now?
yeah.
So how did that start with those two guys? Or, yeah, like how'd you guys meet them? How did
Kato,
that-
I met Kato like a couple of years ago, before he dropped BML actually. I've been on him. And then while I was in Florida, he dropped BML, and that shit went crazy.
Yeah.
So we locked in when I came back, and then we did his like first official like real show. He actually did have a show, like a little local show in Toronto before. We went to that, picked him up, and then we got him on the first festival. Like the first festival, that was his like first big show, and he kind of just killed it.
Hell yeah.
And then
that's
we were
dope.
like, we picked him up, started working with him. And then Eli Jugs, that was pretty recently. Shout out Devon.
Shout out
He's
Devon.
he's the other guy managing him with us, and he's also like part of First Class. And,
Yeah, of course.
He's a good guy. So
Dope. Where do you guys plan on taking that? Do you guys just want to focus on those two artists for now, or are you looking to sign more artists, or what are you guys thinking with that?
I definitely think like FCMG, like definitely obviously Kato and Eli are like the heart of that kind of brand, but also it was a way for us because we were doing concerts too. Like we started like honestly just artists we were rocking with, like Gucci, like some of the other artists. We didn't know if we wanted to promote it like through the festival page if it wasn't going to be a music festival. So
Yeah,
that's
makes
kind of
sense.
become the page and brand where we're doing like concerts, after parties, touring, and then
just expanding like the genres
Yeah.
too of like what we're doing.
I definitely think like we'd be open to bringing on more artists once but like definitely kind of want to just take our time like building with Kato and Eli, and like you said, like in the future, I mean we're looking to eventually like have a distribution company under that,
cool.
maybe turn it into a label eventually,
Hell
but
yeah.
I mean I think that's all gonna just come with time, like
Yeah,
take it one
yeah.
step
I
at a
was about to
time.
say,
Yeah.
Just seeing where things go. Just slowly
Yeah,
growing.
yeah, yeah.
exactly.
So like you guys said, you're using that to host individual shows. And I was at the KC concert recently, and I loved that. What was the other one that we went to?
Big Baby Gucci. bro.
Gucci.
Yeah, the Big
Yeah,
Baby Gucci
yeah.
one. Yeah, man.
That
Shout out.
one
That's
was
where we met
Yeah,
you guys.
yeah,
What other?
That was terrible.
That was a great night. That was like the biggest fucking studio session we ever had here. Shout out
Yeah.
everyone who came through to that.
Shout out Shaq for bringing like the whole team.
Everyone's like
Yeah.
Don Valley,
Yeah.
Gucci.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Eli was there.
Yeah.
Man, that was a great session. But what other solo concerts do you guys have planned for the future, or that you're thinking of?
I mean, I don't know if there's any we can fully
Yeah,
speak
we
on.
Yeah, of
we
course.
can't really
Yeah.
speak on too many just because we never
Just
know.
know.
Oh, just know it. We got something prepared.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's something we've learned over like the past little bit too. Is you just can't speak too much
Facts.
on things that like are in the future because so much happens and there's like
Yeah.
stuff changes every
Yeah.
like couple days.
One thing I will
But-
say though is like definitely some of the artists we've already booked, looking to just like build with them and like do, if we
100%.
brought them to Toronto, we brought them to Montreal, hopefully doing a full tour with them. and that's something we just started doing, is like the whole touring aspect side of things. So definitely want to start taking these guys out to Vancouver, Winnipeg, like some of these markets that I feel like they just don't get anything in this lane. So like trying to take it there.
Yeah.
You guys been doing a lot in Vancouver, Toronto, Montreal. Like you said, is there a smaller city that you think has like a strong, like people really fuck with underground artists that isn't really being talked about in Canada?
It's not really a smaller city, but Montreal always goes crazy.
Yeah, well, we actually haven't done. We announced the Dom Corleo show in Vancouver. We've only done, I mean, besides the Tory tour, which was mostly just Jake. Like we've done Toronto, Montreal, but Dom Corleo tour is going to be Calgary, Winnipeg.
Oh, that's dope.
Toronto, Montreal, Vancouver. So I guess we'll see.
And Vancouver's selling well. Like,
Yeah,
Vancouver's
Vancouver's definitely one of those bigger markets that I think we'll start really tapping in with. And I mean, Calgary and Winnipeg, I feel like they're going to turn up too once the word kind of spreads. But no, we're excited to see who rocks at the underground like in Canada, and then we'll just kind of build where it works, you know.
No, I rate that. I love the idea of bringing these like fire underground artists from the States and bring them to Canada in places where you just wouldn't be able to hear them otherwise. I love that. Because I don't want you guys to talk about what you can't say. So what's one artist you don't have booked that's like your dream artist that you would love to bring on to host a festival or to have a solo concert?
Solo concert right now.
For me, it's Saw Baby,
Ooh,
who I've like.
That'd be dope.
We've emailed that, bro. We've been trying to get in contact with him, but like, yeah, we'll see. I don't even know if he can get in the country, but we'll see.
For me, I'm trying to under FCMG. I'm trying to do more like alternative shows.
That'd be cool.
So there's a couple people that we're looking at. I mean, Break-Ins, Live Nation just announced they're doing Break-Ins, but that was one that I was like trying to get bad. Gene Dawson's tour just got canceled, so probably Gene Dawson.
That'd be cool.
Yeah, Gene Dawson would be fire.
I feel like there must be a lot of artists where it must be like your personal favorites, but you don't know how well they're gonna do, and it must be like balancing that.
No, 100%.
That's definitely part of it.
And another thing we want to start doing more in like 2024 is free shows that that we cover under FCMG. That's just like people that we want to bring out.
That'd be dope as fuck. Yeah, man, free shows are really the way. You don't really see that a lot in Toronto.
No, yeah.
I was just thinking about what's the last free show that I went to. I couldn't even think.
I mean, we got our first one tomorrow with Moxie. Shout out Moxie, and then definitely want to start doing that more and more too, for sure.
I'm not sure about this, but I know you guys are killing the Canadian shows. Do you plan to do like international or shows in the States, or are you just trying to focus on Canada?
100% in the future. Like the whole point of the First Class Festival and why we came up with it is because we wanted the festival to be a moving festival. So our idea is that like the plane is, or the first class jet is moving from city to city, having layovers. And in every city that we have layovers, it's like a whole new like festival.
That's
So we eventually do want to go to like New York, Chicago, Atlanta, LA, like go all over, make it a whole like festival tour type of thing.
That's dope as fuck.
But for right now, we'll just once we take over Canada, we'll start going that way.
Me and Jake been saying like we want to go to America, but not until like they want us there, type of thing. Like once hopefully we can, like, we're trying to build a buzz in Canada to the point where like people in America want us to come out. And like obviously there's a bunch of promoters doing their thing in America too, like shout out Box Boys, like Afterlife, like
Life
Underground Sound just did a crazy show, Life and Friends, like
it's a bunch.
What's Gucci, Brady, AMG Management, like there's tons of people doing their thing in America. So I mean, we're trying to just carve our own way, and if it's if people want us to come out there, like it's definitely something we're open to.
I rate that, because it's not like you're like forcing it or trying to like push it. It's like you want them to really like want you guys, so that when you do it, you'll pack that shit out and it'll really pop. I like that mentality. I rate it.
100%. I mean, the whole point of our thing too is to bring the American underground into Canada first, you know. So once we
bring the Canadians to America.
Then we bring the Canadians to America. So
I fucking love
turn
that
it
idea.
up.
Would you do, or would you think anything like international as well, or?
100%. Like eventually we, especially like just today, I like tapped in with an Australian and New Zealand promoter, like down there or like Europe, any of that would be cool. But Jamaica, but Jamaica there too.
South Africa.
Any of that would be amazing. But
no, I feel like that. Yeah, down the road, wanna make that happen for sure.
I was gonna say like that. There's so many artists that perform really well in Europe, like Pierre, that like they have a really strong underground fan base for those artists.
No, 100%.
Even Big Baby Gucci on his last tour, he went to what was it, Paris?
That's
went
crazy.
to a spot in Germany.
London, he went to London.
London, yeah. I think it sold well. Like, so yeah, there's definitely demand for it out there.
For
sure.
One question that I kind of like to end with, that I've been asking a lot of artists recently, because I think you can give really good insight to people who are starting out, is what advice would you give to yourself right as you were getting into this game?
For me, I'd say just like start small, because I feel like the only time where I've like had, I don't know, maybe like moments where I've like doubted myself, like throwing the shows or like just in everything we're doing, is when maybe like just bit up like too much off my plate and like just tried to go big before like we had even really built the foundation to like be able to make something like that happen. I think that's something we're like realizing now. Even like, I mean, we just partnered, shout out Moto Live as well, like a company we're just throwing a lot of our shows with now, and like have kind of given us the ability to start booking some of these bigger venues. But like, so we're thinking maybe doing Danforth, Phoenix for this next festival, but we're like, no, let's stick with Access Club. Which is definitely a big upgrade from what we've been doing, but it's still, you know, it's like a 700-person room, pack that one out, and then like we can start moving on like you know, step by step and just make it happen. But don't want to like force anything before like the people are super rocking with us, and we can really fill the room.
I love that mentality. I love that advice.
And for me, like, I've always just said it is, if you want to do some shit, like it's gonna happen as long as you don't quit. So just fucking like it'll take 5 years, 10 years. Like it's gonna happen if you just like keep doing it.
Man,
so
I love that too, because everyone's journey is different. You never want to go into something for like 5 years and think it's not for you, but when really it's like 6 or 7 years when you really make your name. Like some of it's 10 years, 5 years, 20 years for some people. You never want to give up. So I love that advice too. Is there anything you want to say before we wrap up?
I mean, pop out October 10th for the next First Class Fest.
You'll catch me there for sure.
Yeah, shout out Cover Art Daily.
My God, appreciate
Legendary.
you.
This is our first interview, so shout out to you if you're listening too.
Yeah, just follow the page, honestly. Like, we're going to be having a lot of free shows, a lot of other stuff, so follow the journey.
All their links will be in the bio. First Class Fest, First Class Music Group, both their personals. Yeah. Appreciate you guys for listening. Like, comment, subscribe. We out.
Yes, sir.
Oh, man, that actually went really well.
Yeah.